What's going on, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix. I'm back for another video. Today, I want to talk about the American economy because we have seen many people get laid off, and not just in the tech sector, in the tech layoffs, but all over delivery, even in healthcare, Hollywood, teachers getting laid off. Um, yeah, just so many layoffs. And at some point during the pandemic, we thought that remote work was going to be the future, but no, it looks like it's not. Because with remote work, corporations don't have as much power. So, yeah, imagine that. So they are starting to take away a lot of remote positions. No, remote jobs still exist, obviously, because at the same time, it is cheaper for companies to operate, with remote work because everybody's at home. You don't have to rent office space, so you spend less money, right? It's easier, but at the same time, you don't have as much control over people. There's a whole other reason for that. But look, 9 to 5 jobs are on their way out, right? With all these layoffs, and thanks to artificial intelligence, many companies they're not gonna want to hire people full time because now they don't need as many people. Look at Amazon. Amazon has automated so many things for their delivery. Amazon they just use robots now, and they're starting to fire a lot of people in their warehouses. So they're still going to hire people, but not as many. They're going to hire as many people as they need to operate the artificial intelligence and maybe fix the robots in the future. You get the point. But that's basically what's happening now, and it's basically going to lead people to find other ways to make money, other ways to you know to make a living. Because if you can't find a job, what else are you supposed to do except hustle? So companies that will not grant as many benefits as they used to be, because again they're trying to cut as much as they can and keep as much money as they can. And in the future, it looks like much like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and all these other gig apps, they're gonna want to hire freelancers. There's already a lot of apps like GoShare and other delivery apps where a company, they will work via a driver, right? A freelance driver to deliver certain items. I mean, I've done Uber Eats and DoorDash. Well, I'll go to Best Buy, I'll pick up an item and just deliver it. I'm not an employee of Best Buy, but I'm delivering it. And there's going to be a lot of work like that. Just a lot of gig work based on freelancers. There's just going to be a lot of freelancing in the future. And it's going to be a gig economy. It's going to be a gig economy. And at the same time, many of those are going to be automated because now we have Elon Musk automating, taxi services. So Uber and Lyft are going to be a lot of Uber drivers, Lyft drivers are going to be out of a job. And the only thing that's going to be left is just, food delivery, which I don't think food delivery is going to be replaced by robots because there's just certain places that robots just can't reach, you know? So, yeah, it's just people are going to have to learn entrepreneurship and freelancing as things get harder and harder here in America. And jobs are just on the way out. There's just so many jobs on the way out. Recently we've had over I think like 3 million layoffs, probably more. It's like 25% unemployment, right? The government is trying to lay off 500,000 people. They're trying to lay off more people, so it's just a lot of employment is being slashed, eliminated, and there's gonna be a lot of people just there's already people that have been looking for a job for over a year. And there's going to be more jobs just offering temporary positions, right? Temporary positions such as, you work for 3 months, maybe 5 months, and then that's it. That's the end of the job. So there's going to be more and more temp work, more temp work, because it just saves the company money. They'll use you when they need you, and then poof, you're out. That's going to be it. Just take a look around. Take a look in your town. Take a look at all the layoffs that's happening. This is the future of America. And a lot of people, they're going to have to They're going to have to learn how to survive on their own, how to start their own side hustles. Use People are going to have to use artificial intelligence to run, their own little small business. That's what's going to happen as things get more difficult. We're all going to have to learn how to use, artificial intelligence and maybe some robots. And a lot of these are either very affordable or kind of cheap. A lot of AI services out there. They're still very cheap. Paying $15 a month for an AI. And yeah, uh, and as far as housing, I think there's gonna be more tiny homes, right? Because especially here in America, we already see many people living in their vehicles, so there's gonna be laws. The government is gonna have to make laws to allow people to live in their cars and not penalize people for being homeless when they don't really have a choice. It's crazy that we're doing this, making homelessness illegal. That just is just ridiculous, man. How can you do that? But these lawmakers are very heartless. So yeah. So as far as housing, people are gonna find new ways to live. If they can't afford an apartment in the city where most of the jobs are, then they're gonna have to, either live outside the city and then commute into the city. You know, and there's going to be more technology to build tiny homes, and there's probably going to be new vehicles that people can buy where they can live in, like maybe smaller RVs, maybe like minivans that are designed for people to live in, things of that nature. That's where technology is gonna move towards, because if the cost of living is not gonna go backwards, the cost of living is not gonna rewind to the point where people are going to be able to afford apartments again. No, it just looks like things are just gonna get more and more and more expensive, and it's just gonna keep going, getting more and more expensive. It's not going to stop. So, gig work, freelancing, contract work is the future because it's better for the corporations. They don't have to pay you so much money, right? The corporations don't have to pay you so much freaking money, and they don't have to pay you benefits and none of that stuff. And basically, you're gonna have to, fend for yourself. That's what it looks like. So, whatever your thoughts are on the future of the American economy, make sure to comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. Everybody, it's your boy and the Matrix. Godspeed.